greetings to all my fellow Raphelites. I am Moksha Shukla from class 4th, and today we are going to read chapter 2 from our science book. Chapter 2, Adaptations in Plants. Different areas on the earth have different temperatures. They receive different amounts of rainfall and have a different terrain. Some areas are plain, some are hilly, and many others have mountains. But all regions but all regions have some varieties of plants. We can, find, we can find plants everywhere, on mountains, in deserts, and in water as well. Have you ever wondered why certain plants are found in a particular area? What special features allow them to grow in a particular place? Why do we not see cactus in the Arctic region? In this chapter, we will try to find out the answers to the above questions. Adaptations in plants. Plants, grow, plants growing in different regions differ from one another. The place where a plant naturally lives and grows is called its habitat. For example, a desert is a habitat for a cactus and a pond is a habitat for a lotus plant. Plants have some special features that allow them to live in a particular habitat. These special features are called adaptations. Plants can be classified into two groups: terrestrial plants, plants that grow on land; aquatic plants, plants that grow in water. Terrestrial plants and their adaptations. Most, most plants grow on land. Land has a variety of habitats like forests, mountains, plains, and deserts. Each of these habitats differ in their climate and factors like rainfall, altitude, height above the sea level. Terrestrial plants that Terrestrial plants can further be divided into the following groups based on their habitat. 1. Plants growing in mountains. 2. Plants growing in plains. 3. Plants growing in hot, humid, and damp climate. 4. Plants growing in deserts. 5. Plants growing in marsh areas. And 6. Plants growing in coastal regions. Plants growing on mountains. These regions are normally very cold. Many mountain peaks receive snowfall in winters. Some trees found on hills and mountains are pine, fir, deodar, spruce, etc. Some flowerless plants like ferns, mosses, and lichens also grow here. Some adaptations shown by the plants growing on the mountains are: trees are tall, straight, and thin. Instead of flowers, these trees bear cones with seeds inside them. They are usually conical in shape to allow to slide off the plant easily. Due to their conical shape, they are also called conifers. They, their, their leaves are thin, tough, and needle-like with a waxy coating to prevent damage from snow. These leaves have a few stomata to prevent water loss. Plants growing in plains. Generally, plains are neither very cold nor very hot. They, they support they support the growth of a variety of trees, herbs, and shrubs. Some examples of trees growing in plains are peepal, mango, banyan, gulmohar, cotton, and shisham. Some important adaptations are as follows. Trees have many branches that spread around. The leaves are many, flat, and thin, which help the evaporation of excess water, keeping the plant cool. Most of these plants can survive in hot weather conditions. Trees shed their leaves generally in autumn, and new leaves grow in spring. Plants growing in hot, humid, and damp climate. Some land regions are extremely hot and humid. Plants like teak, rubber, pepper, coffee, tea, and sugarcane grow in such regions. Here are some adaptations shown by the trees of such regions. These trees are evergreen. They never shed leaves. Leaves are arranged in an angular manner on the branches so as to get maximum sunlight. Plants have a lot of leaves. Leaves are flat and thin so as to help in transpiration. Transpiration helps in keeping the plant cool. Plants growing in deserts. Extremely hot and dry places are called deserts. There is very little water available in deserts. Cactus, date palm, babool, and kikar are few plants that can be found in a desert. Desert plants are also known as xerophytes. Xerophytes. Some adaptations shown by the desert plants are as follows. Leaves change into spines to prevent water loss by transpiration. The stem in some plants is green due to the presence of chlorophyll. The stem prepares food in such plants. The stem also stores food and water, which makes it fleshy. Roots spread out of deep under the ground. Roots spread out deep under the ground in search of water and nutrients. Plants growing in marshy areas. Waterlogged places are called swamps or marshes. The soil of marshy areas is clayey, sticky, and contains less air. The plants that mostly grow in marshy areas are as mangroves. The main adaptation shown by the mangroves are as under. Roots Roots grow out of the soil to breathe as clay and sticky soil. As the clay and sticky soil does not allow the root to breathe. These roots are called breathing roots. Roots have tiny pores or openings at the tip. Plants in coastal regions. The soil in coastal regions is sandy. The temperature is high and air is humid. Coconut tree is the most common tree seen in the coastal regions. Some adaptations of these plants are as follows. Leaves are thin and long, allowing the strong winds to pass through them without causing excess damage. The tree trunk is strong and flexible. Long and deep roots penetrate deep under the ground in search of water. Aquatic plants and their adaptations. Plants growing in water are called aquatic plants. These are of the following types. Free floating plants, fixed floating plants or fixed aquatic plants, submerged plants or underwater plants. Free floating plants. Some plants like water hyacinth, duckweed, wolfia, and pistia float on water. Such plants show the following adaptations. Most of these plants are small in size. They have light and spongy bodies because of the air spaces between their cells. This helps them to float. Stems are reduced and roots are well developed. Leaves have thin waxy coating. Leaves have a thin waxy coating. Do you know duckweed is the world's smallest flowering plant and Rafflesia is the world's largest flower? Fixed floating plants or fixed aquatic plants. Some of the water plants are like water lily and lotus. Like water lily and lotus are fixed to keep the bed of a pond, whereas the rest of the plant body keeps floating. Such plants are called fixed floating plants. Some adaptations shown by these plants are as under. Stems are light and hollow to enable leaves and flowers to float. Leaves are broad with a waxy coating that prevents them from rotting. Leaves have the stomata of the upper surface to breathe easily. Roots are fixed onto the bed of the pond. Submerged plants or underwater plants. These plants grow and remain underwater. Take grass, Pondweed, seaweed, and hydrilla are examples of such plants. Some adaptations shown by these plants are as follows. Their leaves arise in clusters from the roots and do not have any stomata. They have long ribbon like an arrows, long ribbon like they have long ribbon like narrow leaves. They breathe in carbon dioxide through their body surface and give out oxygen in water. They have small roots. Green teaser. Why do we put some water plants in aquariums? Some special adaptations. There are some plants which show some special adaptations, either to protect themselves or to get enough nutrition. Insectivorous plants. There are some plants which eat insects. They are called insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap are examples of insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant. The, the, leaf, the leaves of pitcher plant form hollow tubes with a lid called pitchers. Insects are attracted by the colorful markings, delicious smell, and sticky nectar of the plant. The pitcher hangs with the lid open. When an insect enters, the pitch lid closes. Once inside the pitcher lid closes. Once inside the pitcher, the, the insect is digested by the digestive juices of the plant. The digested food is then absorbed by the plant. Venus flytrap. This plant has sticky hairs on its margin, which act like traps. When an insect sits on its leaf, the trap shuts. The insect then is digested with the help of the digestive juices of the plants. Plants with thorns. A number of plants like roses, bougainvillea, and many other plants have thorns which protect them from animals. Plants with poison. Many plants like the poison ivy have poison in them. This keeps the animal away from them. Animal skin starts itching on touching the poison ivy. S- saprophytic. Saprophytic plants. Some plants do not have chlorophyll and are not green in color. They cannot make their own food. They absorb food from dead plants and animals. These plants are called saprophytic plants. Coral root and Indian pipe are examples of these plants. Grass family. Do you know that all cereals belong to the same grass family? Wheat, rice, jowar, maize are some of the cereals. Other than cereals, sugarcane, bamboo, and fodder are also members of the grass family. Some key characteristics of plants in the grass family are described as under. Their stem their stem are hollow except their stems are hollow except all the nodes or joints. Grass leaves are longer than their width and part of them are wrapped around the stem. These plants are very useful to us. Some of their uses are given as below. Bamboo is a giant grass. It is used to make baskets, chairs, mats, etc. Bamboo shoots have a nutritional value and is used in preparing dishes in many parts of India. Some grasses are used to make medicines. Dried grass is used as a packing material. Sugar is obtained from the sugar cane. We use the cereals, rice, wheat, ragi as our food. Roots of the grasses bind the soil well and help the conservation of soil. Do you know bamboo is the fastest growing plant on the earth? It is rich under it is rich in its vitamin. It is rich in vitamins. It can grow 3 feet in the height of 24 hours under appropriate climate conditions. So, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.